Right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye coming to you again with a preview of an Arsenal game. And this is going to be a special one. It's going to be an explosive one. If you are easily offended, probably better not listen. I've decided to bring someone on. Someone I've been meaning to bring on for a long time. Just haven't been able to get it together. But after this week of all weeks, we have to do it this time. So introducing everyone to Lee, Top Gunner. Say hello to the people.
How you doing? Glad you invited me on. Actually, I've watched a few of your videos recently, man. It's like,
Me having a breakdown. Yeah,
I've come to rescue you, bruv.
So yeah, it's been a kind of quiet week for Arsenal, don't you think?
Yeah, nothing going on.
Nothing really happened. Nothing out of the ordinary. What the hell is happening? Literally every day I'm reading something like, what's going on? Let's just go into it. Guys, forgive us. This is going to be a preview, and we're going to get to that side of things. But I've got to get Lee's opinion on what's been happening this week, just this week alone. First of all, did you even watch that Bayern Munich game?
Sadly, yes. And
what would you think of that?
Well, to be honest with you, when I see the Bayern Munich lineup for the game the other night, obviously the tie was dead after game one. Yeah. When I see their lineup, I actually tweeted about a minute after the lineups came out that they're going to mean business tonight, and they're going to go and make a statement across Europe, and they're going to do us 10-1 on aggregate. I tweeted.
Wow.
Yeah, if I
actually saw it coming. Okay.
Yeah, I see it coming. But to be fair, until the red card, we were doing all right. Yeah, we possibly could have gone on and got more. We would never have got through. Let's all have that right. We'd never have got through. But I thought we played pretty good. The worst player in our team up until that point was Alexis Sanchez, ironically, and he's been our best player all season. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird game. I mean, like, we came out, we got the goal. What a goal, by the way, as well. So that was class, man. That was what we want to see from Theo.
Exactly.
Yeah? And we see it once every 20 games.
Exactly.
So
I even said it in my review, I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Theo was actually one of our best players today.
Yeah, he was well up for it. He looked like he wanted it, you know. And he had a couple of chances just before that as well. And he sort of stretched for a ball as he was clean through and missed it. He had brought that down. That could have been 1-0. And, you know, and then if he had scored the goal, it might have been a different game.
Should have had a penalty, to be fair.
But I thought... So I look at things logically, and I look at things from without my Arsenal hat on, right? And a lot of people are saying we should have had a penalty, on Theo Walcott. I've seen that in super slow motion at half time on BT when I was watching it. It's not a penalty. Yeah, Xabi Alonso's come in, he's literally just got a toe on the ball, and as the ball's gone, then he's clattered into Walcott. So as far as I'm concerned, not a penalty. Seen him given all season long, but it's not a penalty for me. The Lewandowski one, don't know, it's 50-50. He made an absolute meal of it.
Oh, he really did.
What was Koscielny doing, man? Just don't do that. Just let him go, and hope you can try and, like, I don't know, do something, but just don't, like, give him the opportunity to do that. But
But here's the thing: if we give away a penalty 9 times out of 10, it will be Koscielny.
Yeah, exactly. I've said this a million times. The guy, in my opinion, right, gets built up on such a high pedestal at Arsenal. He's immune from criticism, and when you actually analyse his games, like, people are coming out with waffle, like, oh, we only conceded 1 goal in the 2 games with him on the pitch. Come on, man, for fuck's sake, you're clutching at straws, really? Yeah, you know, really, yeah, and when I watch him and see some of the stuff he does in games, and Mustafi, but more so Koscielny, the way they dive into tackles, man, they're on the floor sliding in, and I think they do it more than any other centre-back pairing in the league. Yeah, and maybe that's because I notice it more. I don't know, because I watch more Arsenal than anyone else. But it just, with me, I've said it a million times before, the guy is not world-class. He'll never be world-class. He's a good defender, but he's not a great defender. And you know, until Arsenal fans take their biased like Arsenal hats off and actually start assessing our team and assessing our players and manager and individuals at the club properly without bias, yeah, you know, we're always going to have this arguments all over Twitter, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? But
and listen, I'll hold my hands up. Even I have described him on a couple of occasions as the best defender in the league. But you know when you say something and then you get this shudder, like, are you sure?
He's not the best defender in the league, man. He's not. He's not. He's a good defender. Yeah, let's have it right. He's not shit. Yeah, he's not a shit defender. He's a very good defender. Yeah, but there's a difference between being very good and being great. Yeah, he ain't great. Yeah, people compare him. People put him in their top 3 like Arsenal defenders of all time. It's like, fuck off, man. Like, you know, I've seen that a few times. But Wayne, bless him, he's put him in his top 3 before. But nah, not for me. But having said that, you know, just coming back to the Lewandowski penalty, I actually tweeted when he got sent off that it's a straight red card because he was the last man. And obviously, me being stupid, didn't realise there was the rule change and it's only a yellow. But see, I don't know nothing about football. You know, I get told it every day. I don't know what I'm talking about. But having said that, that's no excuse to go and capitulate the way we did after conceding the penalty and having him sent off. Because, you know, when you sit there and look at it, you think, well, why did he put Xhaka at centre back? Why? What's that all about? Why's he putting him into defence for? You know, Gabriel sat on the bench. The funniest thing, the thing that made me laugh the most is the fact he brought Ozil on. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
I saw that, and I instantly thought of you.
I thought it was great. I just thought, you know what? Maybe that's teaching him a bit of a lesson. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man! Oh, it was so painful. Literally, just looking at it, just thinking we lost 10-2. And if you put our other game where we played Bayern Munich, I think it's like a 15-3 aggregate.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. And we're supposed to be competing with this lot. We're miles away, light years behind this lot, mate.
We're not even competing in our own league, never mind the Champions League. What? What's going on?
See, the thing with it is, like I just said about players being overhyped, so many people overhype Arsenal Football Club. And, you know, like, and they say to me, because I slag players off, and it's because I want them to do better that I slag them off. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't honestly sit here and believe Mesut Ozil's shit, because he isn't shit. Yeah, let's have it right. The geezer's a good footballer. Yeah,
and there's won a lot.
Well, to be honest, he hasn't actually won a great deal. If you look at it, he's won a World Cup, granted.
Not Champions League.
No, he's not won the Champions League, mate.
Oh right, he really hasn't.
No, he's not won the Champions League. I think he's got 1 league title to his name, and a cup and the World Cup.
You just
if you actually look
for Madrid,
if you look at his trophy haul, if you actually look at it, he hasn't actually won that many trophies. Yeah, and you know, I slag him off. I'm going to come on to him, right? Because, like, you know,
I've got stuff to ask you about Ozil. Don't worry about that.
Right, but the reason I slag him off is because when you see him at Real Madrid under Jose, that boy was running and running and running. He was taking players on. He's skipping past people. He's shooting. He's scoring. Yeah, he's defending. Yeah. And it just seems like since he's come here, which is his prime time of his career, he's come to Arsenal. Yeah, and it just seems like, you know, I was over the moon. Like, I remember when it was on Sky Sports News that night that we signed him on deadline day, I was like, oh my fucking God, I didn't know what to do with myself, man. I was like, we have signed Mesut fucking Ozil, yeah? Like, we've been shit for a decade. How has this happened, right? Yeah. And like, I'm sitting there thinking, right, we've got Ozil, man. Like, and on his day, I remember his debut, he set Giroud up for a goal, yeah? Fucking nice finish from Giroud as well. And it was like, wow, we've made it. Yeah, we've made it. Like, we've got this boy. This geezer's on fire, yeah? And he's just like, you know, I can count on one hand how many times he's like left me thinking, do you know what? Yeah, you're the real fucking deal. Yeah, and I'll probably still have fingers left. Napoli, in his first season, when we played Napoli, yeah, he was fantastic that night. He scored a great goal that night as well. Yeah. Ludogorets, if we're starting to scrape the barrel now, you know, he scored a hat trick.
It was.
Man United last season, he was good. Yeah, in the home game. People throw the fact that he scored in the away game against their reserves at you when they try and prove he's great, but we lost that game, so nah. Other than that, well, Chelsea this season, you know, I'm sort of struggling to find. Yes, he got loads of assists last season, right? But I said this yesterday on the podcast I went on yesterday, right? Assists are the worst stat out there, right? Against Man City, when Theo Walcott banged a 20-yard screamer past Joe Hart a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Mesut Ozil got an assist for that goal. And when you go and watch that goal, if anyone's got the time and the effort to go and watch that goal, that pass was meant for Monreal on the overlap behind Walcott.
I remember the
Walcott
goal.
Intercepted it and banged it straight in the top corner. Assist.
Yeah.
No, not really. Against Swansea this season, the ball's come in. Ozil's headed it. It's hit the back of the centre-back, dropped, and Giroud's banged it in. He got the assist for that. Why? It hit the centre-back. It was a shot he missed. Yeah, so I don't count assists. I don't care what anyone says about assists. It's the worst stat you can ever think of, right? And
what about pre-assists?
And, well, he's got plenty of them. He's got plenty of them. I can't remember what game it was, but I think it was Bournemouth. I might be wrong, at the Emirates. And we scored, and it was Sanchez scored. I think it was the third goal. Sanchez scored. Giroud squared it back, and he clattered the holdings behind the goal as he squared it back. Ozil passed that to him, to Giroud. I think it was Bournemouth. I might be wrong, right? Giroud squared it. Yeah, Sanchez tapping, right? And there's a video going around. Yeah, and all three of them, like Giroud's flat out on his back. Sanchez comes over. They're all cuddling, and Ozil trots over. Bearing in mind, Sanchez has scored. The cross from Giroud, they all start singing Mesut Ozil. Really? What did you do, mate? You passed it to Giroud, who then set up the goal. So, like, they just baffle me, mate. They do. They baffle me. And, you know, you just got to laugh at them half the time because, like, you know, they've never seen us win anything, you know, after these kids. Like, you know.
Here's the thing. He's a very good player, but basically, in an essence, he's not a match winner.
Exactly.
He's not a match winner. And when the team are playing bad, much like how I've described Mustafi before, which I'll get onto in a second, when the team are playing bad, he'll play bad. When the team are playing well, he'll play well. He's not the type to inspire a team to play well.
And the thing is as well, you made a great point just then. Yeah, he's not a match winner. Technically, depending on what team you're playing, he could be a match winner. But when it's needed the most and you need a win, i.e. Bayern Munich, i.e. Chelsea away, i.e. Man City, Man United, Tottenham away, Liverpool away, that is the games, Everton, Stoke even away. Yeah. You know, when you come up against these bigger teams, when it really matters, that is when he is least effective. And, you know, for example, the Bayern Munich away game when we lost 5-1 a couple of weeks ago, right? We know we're going to Bayern Munich. We know we're going to have 30% of the ball. Yeah, we know their midfield is fantastic. And we know that Mesut Ozil is absolutely anonymous without the ball. Why play him?
Yeah.
So, you know, and that comes down to the manager, obviously not picking the team to do the job against the team you're going against and picking the right team for the right team you're playing against. But at the same time, the player's got to have a good look at himself and go, maybe I do need to up my game against these bigger teams because I don't do enough. And he should do it for personal pride more than anything else. He should want to be better in the bigger games because the bigger games are where you get noticed more.
Yeah, completely agree. What I wanted to ask you about, because I don't really know your opinion on him, is Mustafi. Do you rate him? Because I don't, and I get a lot of stick for it.
People will be digging up my tweets now.
Yeah.
I've actually said that Mustafi is better than Koscielny.
Oh.
Yeah, and although Mustafi has been garbage for the last few weeks, I still stand by that.
Okay.
And the reason I stand by that is they're both very similar in the way they play. Although the reason I think Mustafi is better is because he can pass out and stroll out of defence and thread a pass. We see one the other night. I know he was higher up the pitch, but he fed Oxlade-Chamberlain through the other night. or Walcott, whoever it was. What a pass that was! Yeah,
It
I don't
was.
think Koscielny quite has that in his locker.
But do you think that he's a what I think he's bad is I feel like he's a poor reader of the game. Poor reader of the game. Like Cavani gave him the runaround at PSG away, and that was the first instance I saw it. And
Yeah,
whenever I find with Mustafi is whenever he plays well, Koscielny has had a better game. Like if Mustafi is an 8,
I can see that.
I almost guarantee Koscielny's a 9 in that same game. In my opinion, anyway. There's no game I can ever think of so far in his Arsenal career. Now, yeah, all right, I hear what loads of people are going to be saying is, "Oh, give him an opportunity. He's only just come." And yeah, I will. I've not written him off, but it's just there's not a game where I look back and I think to myself, "Oh, he had a really standout game."
See
against
Bayern Munich away, and I know I keep coming back to that game, and that game was a shambles for the whole squad, let alone him. Yeah, but one of their goals, yeah, he's standing there, not even looking at the ball, not even looking at play, and he was talking to Bellerin. Yeah, next thing, Thiago back heel, Lewandowski, Bosch. Yeah, and
I was so angry with them, angry with them.
See, the thing is, I've said this before, right? It doesn't. You could have the best centre backs in world football in the Arsenal centre back positions, still make the same mistakes as Koscielny and the same mistakes as Mustafi and Scalacci and all the other shit that's come before these two, right? And the reason that is because I don't think that the way we're set up by the manager and the coaching staff and the patterns of play and defending with the ball, defending without the ball, I don't think we really work on the shape of the team and stuff like that in training. I really don't think we do, because Steve Bold was a fantastic defender, a very, very good defender. Yeah, and he was in an era where we had one of the best defenses the world has ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, for him to sit on the bench and we're shipping 5, we're shipping 3s, we're shipping 5 again. Yeah, you know, surely if he had anything about him, he'd be rowing with Wenger to get his hands on that defence. But I think, again, coming back to the question about Mustafi, I take your point. I do see your point, because I don't think he's definitely not showed £35 million worth of talent this season. That is for sure. Yeah, and it looks like we've been slightly mugged off on the price. But having said that, I do think that if you look at him, he's more of a leader than Koscielny. Koscielny's openly admitted that he's not a leader.
I agree.
He does try delegating. He does try shouting and then telling people, "You move here." I've seen him do that in game.
Yeah.
And I like that. Yeah, because it shows that he's trying and he's trying to keep everyone together and make sure that he's got the right cover. But I mean, I can't remember what game it was. Watford game it was. Yeah, the way Capoue just dropped a shoulder and left him for dead, and then he had the cheek to go and have a row with Ramsey over it, and it's like, you know, come on, mate. I
love Ashley Ramsey, but my gosh, that was all.
Yeah, I think he was taking the piss that night. But the thing is, if you play for Germany and you win a World Cup,
yeah.
Granted, he played at right back. He plays at right back for Germany. Yeah, every now and again. But you don't get in Germany's team if you're not good. Not good. Yeah. When people are going to throw Ozil back in my face because I've said that, but like I've said, Ozil is a good footballer. He just ain't shown it since he's got it.
Never said he was good. Yeah.
Yeah, but Mustafi, he must have something about him to constantly get in the Germany squad every single time. And like I said, I think the problem's more than just him and Koscielny or Monreal and Gibbs or Bellerin or whoever else is in that defense. I think that goes further up the pitch. I think that goes to our midfield. I mean, Coquelin's supposed to be a defensive midfielder. How many times have we seen him taking shots on the edge of the box up the other end?
Or Hollywood pass that goes really well.
Does Kante do that? No. You know, Kante's always there, ready to nick the ball and pass it to someone who's good. Yeah, and you know, if it was like, if you're looking at it from let's say Wenger's not the manager next season, yeah, and somebody else comes in. Do I think that Mustafi would and Koscielny would get better? Yes, I do, 100%, because I think that the next manager would be more tactically astute than the one we've got now, and we wouldn't be shipping the 4s and 5s and 6s we do every season, because I think as a unit we'd defend a lot better than we do under the current manager. And until we see life without Monsieur Wenger, then I don't think we're ever going to see Arsenal with a watertight defence or a half decent defence. I mean, Bellerin's the same. I got dogs abuse the other day for saying Bellerin shouldn't be on the money he's on. He should be on 20, 30 grand a week, because that's how I see it.
I actually agree with you. Yeah.
So the thing is, when you look at Bayern Munich, I put this out the other day. Bayern Munich's squad costs £16 million less than Arsenal's squad. Bayern Munich's wage bill for that squad is £37 million a season less than Arsenal's squad. Yeah. So when you've got players like Lewandowski, yes, granted he was free, yeah, but he's going to be on a good few grand every week, right? Yeah. And then you've got somebody like Kingsley Coman. Yeah, I guarantee Kingsley Coman ain't on more than 40 grand a week. Guarantee it. Yeah. And Renato Sanchez, another prime example. Yes, he went for a half decent transfer fee, but he ain't going to be on fantastic money. But the lure of playing for Bayern Munich gets these players to them, and they're happy to accept less wages than they could have got somewhere else, because it's the prestige of playing for Bayern Munich. We lost our prestige many moons ago.
Do you think that's a cultural thing? And by cultural thing, I mean from league to league, because all those players you named haven't played in the Premier League. And a lot of those players, people don't like to advertise as part of the Premier League, but it's true. Players move to the Premier League, a lot of them, because they know they'll earn a lot of money.
True. Yeah, no, you're right. You're spot on. Possibly. I mean, if you look at the German model for football, it's the best in the world. Yeah. Every single one of their stadiums is just ridiculously rammed every week. Like their ticket prices. I spoke to a Schalke fan a couple of weeks ago, and he said that their tickets for away games, including travel, so i.e. the coach journey, yeah, it worked out over the course of the season for every away game. It worked out €7. Yeah, and I know Schalke ain't the best team in Germany, but €7 to go and see Bayern Munich away.
Wow.
Yeah, to go and see Dortmund away.
And I don't support you, Munich.
Mate, I spend more than that on a packet of fags. Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it could be a cultural thing, and there's a lot of people that do go against that cultural thing and do money grab, i.e. all the ones that have fucked off to China and all the ones that went to Russia. Yeah, and a lot of the South American players are like that. A lot of South American players are all about the money. It doesn't matter about the career. Just go and grab the money. And I get that. You know, a lot of them have come from poverty. So, you know, I get that they want to earn as much money as they can. But European players, I think the English players are all overhyped. Every single English player in this country is overhyped, apart from Harry Kane, who's underhyped.
How painful.
Yeah, I think I know it's, mate, he used to be in our academy and we let him go. Another great decision by our club. But I personally think he's completely underhyped. Yeah, that guy has scored more goals than Luis Suarez in the same amount of games. Yeah, at this stage. Yeah, and he is going to be a world-class footballer. Yeah, and the only way he's going to step up, I don't want to talk about Tottenham too much, I feel dirty, but the only way he's going to step up
don't feel correct. Well, go on.
The only way he's going to step up and get that world-class title is by doing it in Europe. Yeah, on the European stage, and currently Tottenham are fucking worse than us in Europe. So, you know, but Premier League wise, he's underhyped. English players are overhyped. I read an article a couple of years ago from Marco Reus saying that he's had so many big offers of massive money to go elsewhere. Yeah. But he said, I remember the article said that his quote was, but a doctor in Germany earns 60 grand a year. A nurse earns 20 or 15 grand a year or whatever. He goes, well, how can I justify earning 200 grand a week? Yeah. And like, would any English footballer ever come out and say stuff like that? It's a totally different mindset.
Crazy, isn't it?
Like,
Crazy.
you know, but I don't know. It's a funny one because, you know, if you look at what Bayern Munich have got in terms of their squad, yeah, compared to our squad, and they've got less wage bill, that tells me that their top players, i.e. the Lewandowskis, the Mullers of the world, Neuers, yeah, they're all on top wages. They're all on like stupid wages. But then it tells me that the way they stagger it down to the not so great players and the up and coming players, that means they're on next to nothing compared to them. And they've done it in a way that if you do good at Bayern Munich and smash it in the first team every week, we will reward you and you will be on Lewandowski wages. But until then, you won't. And Arsenal do it the opposite way round. We pay people like Bentner 50 grand a week, Denilson 60 grand a week. Yeah, when they've done nothing. You know, they've done that. Theo Walcott, a prime example. The guy has done absolutely jack shit for Arsenal in 10 years. Yeah. And we pay him over 100 grand a week. Danny Welbeck's reportedly on 90 grand a week. Why? You know, it's true though, isn't it? Why? You know, yeah, but we'll miss out on these players, people say. We'll miss out on them then because they ain't worth 90 grand a week.
But this is the thing. This is why I know lots of people get annoyed about what, and believe me, I have no loss for that idiot, Ivan. But I can understand why he's almost tried to at least aim to compare us to Bayern Munich. Ideally, in Arsenal dream world, they'd have a business model that's very similar to Bayern Munich and all the things you just said, and we'd play like Barcelona.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nowhere near that.
The funny, well, it's not funny. The worst bit of it is when we were at Highbury the last few years and we had the Invincibles and all that. Yeah, we were better than Barcelona. Yeah, we were better than Bayern Munich. Yeah, and we were classy. Yeah, Bayern Munich are classy in Germany. They're a worldwide classy football club, in my opinion. Yeah, everything they do, it's just class. Yeah, and you know, we used to be like that, and it's like it's funny because we got to the 2006 Champions League final. And we should have won that. Everyone knows that. We should have won that. That Henri miss gives me nightmares to this day, man. Yeah, like you'd bet your mortgage on the geezer burying that. Yeah, but it's, you know, and you know that particular night, it was a case of, wow, the Barcelona ain't that great, and we're better. Yeah. Now, fast forward 11 years, look at what they done last night. Yeah.
Do you remember the amount of hope that you had as an Arsenal fan after that final? It hurt. But there was so much
big time
after that. You thought to yourself, wow, we were Barcelona. And
with 10 men.
Yeah. You know, and it was just luck that they got through. Absolute luck.
Well, there was also stupid tactics or substitutions from Mr. Wenger back then in that final as well. there was, mate. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, there was, but you know, what can we do? That's long gone now. You know, we've got different problems now rather than worrying about Champions League finals.
So, I mean, you were talking about the defense, and funny enough, I had a conversation with Tops and Colin. Shout out to them if they listen, and we were talking about the fact that we don't really understand why Wenger hasn't gone to 3 at the back. Because you would think with our attacking fullbacks the way they are, on our defence the way they are, we are tailor-made to go 3 at the back, but yet we don't. Why do you think that is?
Because he's stubborn for a start. He has to shoehorn his favourites into the team. He wouldn't be able to do that if we played an extra centre-back, for example, and played 3 centre-backs, for example, and then played with Bellerin and Monreal or Bellerin and Gibbs as the wing-backs. I think Bellerin would be better as a wing-back, a lot better. Because when we lose the ball and teams break on us, yeah, they're so far up the pitch, our left and right back, that their team are just running at 2 centre-backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's a case of what do? Do you bring them down? Do you just drop off? Do you go close and they skip past you? And it happens time and time again. And I think that's a fantastic point you've made. We should play. We should at least try it, because
try something. Yeah,
try something different. And not only that, if you do get countered on, you've then got the extra centre back there.
exactly.
Yeah, you know, and that's why Chelsea have done so well, because Chelsea are so drilled on it now, because their managers just battered him in. It's just been drilled into him every day, and they've now made Victor Moses one of the best wing backs in the world. Yeah, it's like everyone laughed when they signed him from Wigan. It was like, really? Like, what's he doing at Chelsea? Yeah, now look at him all these years later after being loaned out everywhere. It's like, wow, you're actually quite good. But no, you're right. You're right. But I think the reason he doesn't do it is because he's so set in his ways, and he's so set with his favourite players, Ramsey, Ozil, Giroud. Yeah, they're his favourites, and no matter what happens, they will always get back in the team if they're fit and they're not shopping in Sweden or in Turkey, meeting up with women. Like, they will always get back in the team, and in that formation, I don't think you'd be able to play, you know, Ramsey. I don't think you'd be able to play Giroud. I still think Sanchez would be the better option.
Yeah. Me too.
You could possibly get Ramsey in, but then you couldn't get Ramsey and Ozil in. Yeah,
anything
it's one or the other.
The team, I'm happy with, to be honest.
Yeah, but you know what? I've always said before as well, we should go 4-4-2. Yeah, I've said that a million times before. We won trophies and dominated. Yeah, well, we don't. I say dominated the league. We challenged for the league every season with 4-4-2. Yeah, granted, we had one of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't one of the best strikers in the world when he came here. He was a winger.
I agree.
Yeah, and then obviously Wenger, creds to him, yeah, put him up top, and the rest is history. Yeah, we also had Dennis Bergkamp, yeah, who was a fantastic footballer. In my opinion, the best footballer I've ever seen at Arsenal. Yeah, and you know, we haven't got that at Arsenal anymore. So, but playing Giroud up top or playing Welbeck up top with Alexis Sanchez, I think it'd be better. Yeah, I think it'd be miles better.
Out of Giroud in that shape as well. I really think that he'd play so much better.
See, his hold-up play is for a big guy. He's got fantastic ability. Yeah, normally the big lumps up front are clumsy and they don't really have the ability. But Giroud has got the ability. Yeah, but he's not clinical enough to be considered a starter for Arsenal for me. And if you are going to start him in a 4-4-2, maybe he will get better. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, we ain't ever going to see that. We're just going to see the same formation, the 4-2-3-1, and like it's going to be the same every single week, because I think he's so set in his ways that you're never going to change the guy now. Yeah.
And you make a fantastic point, because it's not like Leicester didn't prove the shape worked last year.
Exactly. And let's look at it logically here, right? Jamie Vardy was non-league 7 years ago, and that geezer set the world alight last season, yeah, and won the Premier League. So, you know, if Ranieri can get the best out of that team that nearly got relegated and make them winners under the 4-4-2 formation, at least just try something. Even Conte, yeah, he's gone to the three at the back. Just something different. Mix it up for every game you play. Yeah, have a game plan for the next 3 or 4 games. Like against Lincoln, we're going to play this formation, and that's my team. Against so-and-so, we're going to play West Brom. We're going to play this formation, and that's. He don't have that. He has the arrogance that he had back when we had all the great players. Of, well, my team are good enough. Go out, express yourselves. Yeah, and if we play pretty football, we'll win. Well, we ain't got the players to do that now. Yeah, most of the games we won back then were won in the tunnel, because we had 6'6" giants like Vieira, yeah, and Petit, and I mean, even Henri was a lump. Yeah, they're like, do you know what I mean? And it's like people looked at him and thought, "Fucking hell, we got to beat this lot today." Yeah, so half the job was done in the tunnel. Yeah. Now you look, we've got midgets. Yeah, we got midgets, and they're all weak. Yeah, and it's sad, man. It's sad. It breaks my heart seeing what's happened to this club. It really does, because I was his biggest fan. Yeah, I used to call the geezer God. Yeah, even my daughter. Right, my daughter's 8 this year. Yeah, it's funny because my old man looks the spitting image of Steve Bold.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
he's exactly the same as Steve. He looks identical, right? And I remember my daughter sat there. She was only about 2 or 3 years old, yeah, and she was like, "Daddy, Granddad," and she's pointing at the telly because Steve Fold was on TV. Yeah, so I used to wonder. I kept it going for years, yeah, and like, it was just like, mate, I used to call the geezer like a legend and this and that, and every single season he's been here for the last, well, 6 that I've been Wenger out. I've now in that last 6 years gone to the point where I hate the guy. I hate him. Yeah, and the more it's sad, man. This geezer was like a legend, yeah, to me, and nobody could slag him off to me 7 years ago. Now, mate, I can't even stand his voice. I can't stand seeing him on TV. Yeah, just seeing his face on telly, and like,
I don't watch his interviews anymore.
Neither do I. I watched his one after the Bayern game because I just wanted to see the shit he was going to come out with. And mate, I knew he was going to say something about the penalty. I just knew it, right? And he's sitting there, and it was embarrassing.
When I heard that he said after the Liverpool game, "Oh, we had too much rest," I was like,
yep.
So hold up. 1 minute it's mentally jaded and physically jaded, and now we have too much rest. What exactly do you want? What do you want for our team?
But you know what though? None of the media have got any fucking bollocks about him to actually say to him, "Well, hang on a minute, Arsene. A couple of weeks ago you were saying everyone was mentally jaded and physically not ready for the game. Now you've just had 12 days off, and now you've had too much time off. Well, make your mind up. Yeah, what is it?" And the only person who's actually fronted him recently is Jake Humphrey. Yeah. Before that Liverpool game, did you watch it? It was fantastic, mate. Yeah. He was flapping. He didn't have a clue what to do. He didn't. He was so flustered. So then all he come out with is, "Oh yes, well I don't need to sit here and prove that I can be a football manager." Fuck off, mate. Yeah. The reason you're being quizzed is because you're proving that you can't be a football manager right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not doing a good job. Yeah. When you're doing a good job, nobody says anything.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just frustrating, man.
All right, let's play a game that I've literally made up today. We're going to play a game called Scenario, Price, Replacement. Very, very simple. And what I mean by scenario is if you would sell them or if you would keep them. That's what I essentially scenario. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Keep him all day long.
All day long.
All day long.
How would you convince him? How would you convince him to stay?
I'd tell him that if he carries on his performances the way he has the last 6 games or 5 games, whatever it is, since Southampton, if he carries on in that midfield role, yeah, obviously, I'm talking hypothetical. Obviously, Wenger's never going to do this, right? Because we all know he's going to be on the wing at the weekend. But if I was the manager and he was thinking and he wanted to leave, I'd tell him, "I'm going to play you from now to the end of the season unless you're injured. I'll play you in the centre midfield role. Prove yourself till now and the end of the season. You'll be my number 1 on the team sheet next season for that midfield role." Yeah, that's what I'd tell him, because I think he has been absolutely wasted at Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah,
Same. I've been singing his praise.
I know he can.
For months.
Yeah, I mean, like, he is the only one in the last couple of weeks that has really fucking grabbed the ball by the horns and thought, you know what, let's give it a go, let's have it. Yeah, and
what I like about him is that he's one of our direct players. Like, he'll just take a ball and say, "Fuck this," and run at a player.
Yeah, that run he done against Bayern the other night. Yeah, he's just skipping past people, man. It's like, wow. Like, yeah, he is good. He is good. I'll give him that, yeah. But I think I can see why he wants to go, because 1 week he's in midfield, centre mid, then the next week he's out the team, then the next week he comes on as a sub, then the following week he starts on the right, then he's out the team for 3 weeks, then he's starting centre mid again. Yeah.
Yeah.
This boy he's got so much money in his bank account, he don't give a toss about the money. He just wants to play football.
Agreed.
Yeah. The reasons you want to be a footballer is for the money and the fame. Yeah. That's the reasons you want to be a footballer as a kid. Yeah. And you see your idols and you want to be like them. Yeah. So 3 reasons, right? So his old man's probably his idol, and his old man was a decent footballer. Yeah. He's got the money now and he's got the fame. he just needs to play. Yeah,
Great.
there's no point having all that if you're not going to get games. You know what I mean? What's he going to do? Sit in his mansion and just count his money every week? Well, I bet he's bored shitless. Yeah, he just wants to be recognised as a top footballer. Yeah, and if we let him go, I think he'd go to another club, and
Liverpool.
he would be brilliant.
Yeah,
yeah, probably, and he'd smash it, mate.
He would make a player of him. He really would. It would pain me, but I also wouldn't blame him if he left, like you say.
No, totally agree. I totally agree.
All right, Alexis Sanchez. Sounds like an obvious question, but I'll ask it anyway.
Keep, mate. I don't care what it costs. We keep him, because if we lose him, that puts us back 5 years, in my opinion.
It does.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. We signed Mesut Ozil. We then signed Alexis Sanchez and Petr Cech. Yeah, and it was like, whoa, we're actually doing all right here. We've signed Sanchez, we've signed Alexis, we've signed Cech. Maybe Wenger's changed his tune and started. Maybe he wasn't lying to us about can't compete, and now we can. Yeah, maybe he was telling the truth. And if we allow him to go, mate, that just sums up the last 10 years at the Emirates, or 11 years at the Emirates.
I know people are going to give me shit because I was pretty angry with the fact that he was laughing on the bench, and at the time I was just like, oh, if you're going to laugh at us when we're conceding goals, then fuck off. I was angry. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him to leave. But let me pose a question.
He's given up. That's what it is. He's given up, and he's embarrassed to actually be here, in my opinion, which is why
I totally
the last 2 games he's been sat there laughing. He's embarrassed, mate.
Let me ask you a question, right? While we're on this scenario of Sanchez, right? Would an acceptable scenario to you be if we were to lose Sanchez, sign, I don't know, a Royce and an Aubameyang? Would you accept that in exchange?
No. Aubameyang.
I know people that would say no to that, to be honest.
Aubameyang is a pace merchant that's playing in a good league. Yeah, let's have it right. German league is a good league, but it's not the Premier League. Yeah, and how many times do we get in behind and clean through on goal? Yeah, not really. So Aubameyang, I don't think he'd do very well in this league, because when you go up against the lesser teams, yeah, they all sit deep. Well, Aubameyang's another Walcott in that case, then, isn't he? But his pace is irrelevant. Yeah, Marco Reus, I think, is a good footballer. I think he's a fantastic footballer, but
injury prone.
Is injury prone massively, and big injuries as well. We're not talking just a little 2 to 4 weeker. We're talking like 6 months, 8 months. Yeah, and for the sort of money you're going to have to spunk on him as a replacement for Sanchez, now I'd rather keep Sanchez and have him.
Because they seem so, the mentality of this board don't make any sense. They seem so reluctant to pay Sanchez this money. Anyone would think he's like just some regular jabron, like a Theo. but for some reason, when it's Sanchez, the man has clearly brought us to the. I mean, all right, I'm insulting where we are now. We're 5th right now. We'd be much lower if it wasn't for Sanchez. And yet, for some reason, the board have been doing this. Oh, well, we're not going to break our wage packet for anyone, which is going to be interesting when I talk to you about the next story, which is that Mesut Ozil story. What the fuck? Now, this is the second time I've seen this story today. I saw a similar story earlier this afternoon where they were saying that they were going to double Mesut's wage packet. And I read it, and I thought, I can't have read that right. And then today someone tagged me to it. I apologize to that person. I genuinely can't remember who tagged it to me, but you'll find out who that person was. And I was like, and I read that story, and I was like, sorry, what? What did you, of all people, think about that story?
Well, first things first. Mesut Ozil, regardless of what people say, is on more than the £140,000 a week at Arsenal.
Okay.
Right. I retweeted and quote tweeted the tweets just before Christmas. Can't remember who it was. I'm going after I get off of this, I'll try and find them if I can. Yeah. He had some sort of problem with tax issues or something prior to Christmas. And he was being investigated or something. So it had to come out what he was earning at Arsenal. Yeah. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, tweeted it. Yeah, but it was an official account, a proper account that's involved in what's the word I'm trying to look for? Accounts. He's on £140,000 a week as a flat rate, basic. That's your basic, bro. If you could have the 140s a week, yeah. he gets a signing on fee every single season he is at Arsenal. Yeah, wow. I think it was £5 or £10 million signing on fee every season of the 4 years. Yeah, he got. If we got out of the group stage of the Champions League, he's on another bonus of stupid money. Yeah, and his image rights as well. It worked out that Mesut Ozil, with all of that all in, yeah, was on £200,000 a week. Yeah. So when people say, "Oh, Arsenal don't pay," yes, Arsenal do pay. Yeah, it's a myth. Arsenal do pay. Yeah, he's on 200 grand a week, maybe 200,000 euros a week, let's say. Yeah. So what's that? 180 grand a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still a lot of money. Still more than we've paid anyone at this football club. Yeah. So when I read that story, because we got tagged in it together earlier, didn't we? Yeah. When I read that, somebody tagged us in it and said, if for anybody who hasn't read it, it's Mesut Ozil has been offered a £280,000 a week contract. Yeah, somebody tagged us in that tweet and said, take the 2 and the 8 off of it, and that's what he's worth. I nearly spat my beer out when I read that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I see it as, I think it's journalists trying to mix the pot, try and stir the mix. Obviously, I think they know that the fans are so split and so all over the place at the minute. I don't think it's true. Yes, we can pay that, and I think it was euros instead of pounds. I'm not sure. Yeah, but 280 euros a week is what, 230 grand a week, maybe. So let's say he's on, that's 50 grand a week more than he's on now. Is that a lot of money? Extra compared? Yes, it's a lot of money. You know, people don't earn that in how many years? Like 280 euros grand a year or whatever. But it depends. It depends on a few things. Firstly, I think we should flog him, yeah, and cash in on the geezer.
I was going to play the game with you. So what would be your price?
I do. Well, based on the fact he'll have 1 year left on his contract, I don't think we're going to get a great deal of money for him. So I'd say 30 tops. Yeah, 25s maybe, 25s. And the thing is, if they drag it out and drag it out and drag it out, and he refuses and keeps rejecting the clubs that come for him, yeah, he could fucking, like, you know, long this out till January, like the following January, and have 6 months left on his contract. And you know, we're stupid. The club's stupid. This happens time and time and time again. But I think that story is complete bullshit about the 280, which was your original question. But I think that's just made up to get everyone going, oh yeah, get a bit of positivity around the club and mix the pot up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But
who would your replacement
for me? For Ozil, said it a million times, Isco. Isco all day long.
So highly.
He is so brilliant, mate. Yeah. And people have ripped the shit out of me for saying Isco. Go and watch the Madrid derby a few weeks back. Yeah, go and watch that. That boy run that Madrid derby while Ozil was missing at Everton. Yeah, it's true. It's true. He run that derby, mate. He was fucking brilliant. And we're talking about an Atletico team he went up against that are well drilled. Yeah, they fucking fight you all day long in a battle. They'll get in a battle with you. Yeah, they'll play football with you. Yeah. They can do everything, that Atletico team, yeah, and their manager has drilled them, so they're so disciplined, yeah, and he ripped them a new arsehole in that game. He was fucking brilliant, Yeah, and it's not just based off of that game. I've said it for months, mate. Yeah, he is a player that I've rated for a long time, and I'd love to see him at Arsenal. And people say he's more of a Santi Cazorla type player, which is true, but
we need one of them
still
too.
We've got a lot of players at Arsenal that are coming into their final year, at the end of the season. So, you know, there's a big cloud over Arsenal at the minute in terms of players that are wanting out. Theo Walcott come out and said that there's definitely problems in the dressing room and this and that. And then Wenger come out today and basically called him a liar. Like, you know, and said it's not true. Robert Pires, I see a tweet. He was on beIN Sport before the Bayern Munich game and the other night. And a direct quote from Robert Pires was that he was at the training ground and there was definitely a bust up. He didn't say who, but he said there was definitely a bust up the other week. Yeah, but he said, I can't remember what player he said to go and ask. He said to the journalist, go and ask so-and-so player because he was there as well. Yeah. So all's not well at Arsenal, man. We've got players wanting out. We've got
that. I mean, even like when you watch the Bayern Munich game, they clearly weren't passing to Sanchez, right, as often as they normally do.
Something
serious has happened.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what I think's happened? Yeah, this is my take on it, right? And it's funny because I said this when I spoke to Craig last night, and it's funny because I come off of that pod, put Sky Sports News on, and they were reporting what I just said on the pod, and I didn't have no clue. Yeah, I said Oxlade-Chamberlain, will want out in the summer, because in my opinion he's getting fed up of people like Ozil, like Ramsey, getting in the team ahead of him. Not so much Alexis Sanchez, but people like that will want out of the club because no matter what they do to impress the manager, and to impress everybody at the club, they never get given the chance to play week in, week out. And
Perez being an example. Lucas Perez, look at his example.
Exactly. Another one
in the Champions League and then gets dropped to the bench the following game.
Yeah,
like,
well, he's going to go, and it's a shame because like I mugged that signing off when we bought him. Yeah, and I was like, "Fucking, who's this geezer?" Like 17. That's our record signing as a striker for Arsenal Football Club. Yeah. Like, obviously, Alexis Sanchez is a winger, right? But we're turning him into a striker, and he's deadly at the minute. But it's a common thing at Arsenal. Like, you know, you've got so many players, and the thing that pisses me off the most about the players is the fact they all come out and talk. They all come out on their Instagrams and their social media accounts, and they all got something to say. Yeah, just shut the fuck up. Get your heads down.
Top of that list.
Oh, he's an idiot, mate. The geezer should never be at this football club for a start. Let alone club captain that never fucking plays. And then he comes out with stupid tweets that are probably not even him that are tweeting them. It's probably his fucking agent that are tweeting them. Or his team of people. And it's just the same recycled shit from last season. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it pisses me off. But I do kind of feel sorry for players like Perez and for Oxlade-Chamberlain because even Gabriel to a certain degree, we've all seen that that Bellerin's been dog shit for fucking weeks now, man. Since he come back from injury, he has been shit. He's not getting dropped. Gabriel must think, well, hang on a minute, I was doing all right at right back, which he was. He wasn't setting the world alight, but he was doing all right.
People hate, hate his attacking ability, but I agree with you. I don't think he was as horrible as people make out he was.
The thing is, Bellerin's an exciting player. He's quick, he's fast, he gets up the wing, but when he gets up the wing, his crossing's fucking atrocious. He can't cross the ball. So then we lose the ball. The ball then gets sprayed 2 or 3 passes further across the pitch. It then gets come back to him. He's out of position. We can see the goal. And in my opinion, he's got the ability to be one of the best players in the world in that position. He has definitely got the ability. But instead of going on social media, posing and fucking wanting to be a model, just concentrate on being a footballer. You're a good looking lad and you wear clothes well. Good for you. But make it as a footballer first and make it as a top level footballer for years before you start poncing about modelling clothes. Yeah, and
like Ronaldo can do that all day long because he's achieved
exactly, mate, exactly, and
first.
that's. But I think all of these little issues that we're talking about, I think a massive part of these come back to the manager, yeah, because he's allowed a culture at Arsenal where it's all nice. Could you imagine, right, Simeone walking into our dressing room, yeah, on the first day of the pre-season as our manager next season, he'd have half of the fucking squad up against the wall. Yeah,
so
he'd have them around their throats.
I guess that brings me on to my last one of my game plan: scenario, price, and replacement. Arsene Wenger.
Leave for free. I'll take him to the airport now. I'll pick him up, mate. I'm going on holiday on Monday. I'll pick him up en route and take him to Gatwick, mate. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Of course, I don't want him to leave. I actually don't know who you want as his replacement, though.
The easy answer to that is Simeone. Yeah, that is my ideal replacement as it stands today.
Yeah.
Today, that is my ideal replacement. If you had asked me that question 18 months or a year ago, before Klopp, Pep, Conte, not so much Conte, because I've been surprised by him. I knew he was a good manager, but I didn't realise he was that good.
Yeah, people have been praising him for years, talking about how good of a coach Conte is.
I knew he was fantastic from his days over in Italy, yeah, but I didn't realise he was that good. But yeah, my first pick back then would have been Pep.
Of course.
Yeah, I would have picked.
I still think we're
all day long.
We're tailor made for him.
Definitely, the way we play or used to play, and the way he likes to play. I think we've got the players to play his system, the passing out from the back and all that. I think we've got the players for that, because a lot of our players are fantastic on the ball.
Yeah.
And comfortable under pressure on the ball. Yeah. With their back, with their face to goal. Yeah, to our own goal. Yeah. But yeah, now I think my number one pick is Simeone. If you look at what that guy has done to Atletico Madrid on a tenth of the budget of the biggest two clubs in world football, yeah, it's a miracle. More so than Leicester City.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's big. In my opinion, it's bigger than Leicester City, because you're competing with Man United over here. You're competing with Arsenal and Man City and Chelsea, and everyone's got money they can throw at it and all that. Yeah, over there, Real Madrid and Barcelona get all the money, and then they dish it out to the clubs when they play them. Yeah, and it's peanuts, man. Yeah, so for him to be like winning the league with them, and to be a minute and a half away from winning the Champions League with them, wow. Yeah, that for me, just like, that is the biggest achievement for me. That's bigger than Leicester. Yeah, I'll take nothing away from Leicester, because that is unbelievable what they did last season. Yeah, but I think Atletico Madrid winning that league against the two biggest teams in world football, and they were so close. I remember watching that Champions League final. It's always fucking Ramos that comes up with a goal as well, isn't it?
I don't rate him. I don't care what anyone says.
He's the ultimate big game player, though, man. He always scores.
He is, though.
Shit. He's so shit defensively. Yeah, he's a liability. Yeah, right. But he always gets you the winning goal in a final, man, or like a big game. He's relentless. Yeah, and you can't knock him for that.
Are you not a disciple of this Allegri theory, then?
I personally believe he will be our manager.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's not my first choice. Oh, I'd be buzzing. Yeah, I'd be over the moon, because I think the reason I like Simeone more so than him is because of what Simeone's done against the teams he's done it against.
I agree.
Whereas Allegri is at the best team in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and granted, he sold a couple of his better players, if you can call Pogba that, because he's been shit since he got here. But at least we didn't spunk 90 million on Ozil. Yeah,
this is true. This is true. Silver
But having said that, if you look at the transfer business he's done last season, he made profit for the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even spending 75 million on Higuain, he still made that club a profit last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to walk the league again. They're still in the Champions League. They play good football. They've got one of the most exciting young players in world football in Dybala. Yeah. They're a good football team, and they're good to watch as well. Yeah. I don't watch them every week. I watch games here and there, but they are a good team, yeah. And he is a good manager, and he's well respected over there. So, you know, I'd be over the moon if he came to Arsenal, because I think a lot of people say it's the be all and end all in the Premier League, yeah. But you know, yes, it's the most watched league in the world, and probably up there as one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive. But in my opinion, I think the Spanish league's better. Yeah, I do. I think the Spanish, technically they're fantastic footballers, all of them. Every single player in that league is technically better than the shit we've got in our league. They just kick lumps out here. Yeah, with the odd scattering of quality players. Yeah, but I think that the reason a lot of big managers want to come here, yeah, you're going to get a big payday, but they're going to get that anywhere. Yeah, but they come here for the rivalry with the other managers. Whereas in Italy, he ain't got that.
Yes,
he ain't really got that. Yeah. Obviously, Barcelona and Madrid speak for themselves. They hate each other every week. Doesn't matter who the manager is. Yeah. But coming here, you've got Jose Mourinho, you've got Conte, you've got Klopp. Yeah. You've got even Pochettino to a certain degree now. Yeah. He goes quietly about his business, but they're plodding along fine. Yeah. And then if you could add Allegri to that at Arsenal, wow, what a set of managers that is, man. Yeah, all going against each other.
And I would be excited going into a season for once. Just for once.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've seen what Conte's done at Chelsea. You know, and a lot of people are devaluing that because they're saying, well, Chelsea should never have been 10th anyway. Yeah, granted, they should never have been 10th with the squad of players they've got. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have still got to go in there as a new manager and get every single one of them players on side immediately.
And it's not like the previous manager wasn't a top manager who just happened to lose the players at the time. That was all.
He was their most successful manager. He's a hero to Chelsea fans. Yeah, exactly. You won't find a Chelsea fan, and if you do, then they're deluded because he was fucking brilliant for them. Yeah, and you know, to go in there and like we said earlier about Moses, and turn Moses into one of the best wing backs in the world, on current form. Yeah, it's fantastic. He's got Eden Hazard on side again. And if you look at his man management skills as well, yeah, Diego Costa had his head turned from China, yeah, and that shows the difference between him. I'm going to come to this now, right? That shows the difference between him and Arsene Wenger, right? Because Conte said, bollocks, you're dropped. You're not fucking going to China. You're not fucking playing for Chelsea again until you get your fucking head straight, and fucked him off and didn't play him, yeah?
Yeah.
Alexis Sanchez apparently has a bust up. Yeah, and Wenger goes, we'll put you on the bench. Yeah, we'll put you on the bench. Oh fuck, that went wrong. Oh, Alexis, I need you again, mate. Yeah, if that was Conte, it would have been a whole different ball game, mate. It would have fucked. It would have been a whole different ball game.
I don't care who you are. Go and play the under-23s.
Exactly. He probably would have done that. He would have said, fuck off. I don't care if you're Alexis Sanchez. You're playing for my club. I'm the manager of this football club. Yeah. And you'll do as I tell you to do. And if you don't like it, you won't fucking play her again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no man is bigger than the club.
Even if Arsenal still lost against Liverpool and Arsene Wenger did that, you know what? I'd have said fair play. Fair play. But to leave him on the bench, he just looked petty. He looked petty, and that was the problem. So, and I'm conscious that you probably need to go soon. So
no, it's good. My missus is getting a lift home. It's fine.
Oh, okay, we're good then. We're good.
We haven't even done the preview of Lincoln.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking an hour and a bit. We still ain't touched the preview. Honestly, people who are watching this like, before they've been talking about the Lincoln game. So Lincoln, high flying Lincoln. Bear in mind, we just about beat a Sutton team that are on the verge of getting relegated from conference. How do you see this game honestly going?
Oh, God. Imagine we lose.
Imagine.
Could you imagine we lose?
I'm too scared to go on Twitter, man. He's scared.
Even a replay, yeah, is just going to kick off. Well, apparently there's a planned protest to go from the Highbury again, from the East Stand. They're going to walk down all the way to the director's entrance of the Emirates this weekend. Yeah, and do you know what? Fair play to every single person who turned up the other night and is going to turn up to that, because they're listening. They've put a statement out today. They put a statement out. It was the most muggiest statement you'll ever read, but they put a statement out today. Yeah.
But when did they ever address us? They don't address the fans normally. So for them to address the fans, they were shook.
They
were like,
do you know what? I know we're gonna come onto this Lincoln bit in a minute. Yeah, but I just wanted to say this, right? I was talking to somebody earlier, a friend of mine, and he's a Tottenham fan. Yeah, and he texted me after the game the other night, and he said, "That's it, Wenger's done." Yeah, I texted him back saying, "Mate, you've been my friend for 15 years. Yeah, you know how Arsenal work. He is still going to be here." Yeah, right. And when I was speaking to him earlier, I told him about the statement that had been issued. Right. One thing I mentioned in that was I read the statement to him, and he said to me, he goes, normally they say that we're fully behind Arsenal. Yeah, blah blah blah. They never mentioned any of that. No. They never mentioned none of that. All they said is we will mutually agree Arsenal's future, which is basically bottling it and not taking the stand on it, and not having the authority to go, do you know what? You're right. But do you know what he said to me, right? He said to me that they're not stupid. They're all multimillionaires, and you don't become a multimillionaire or even a billionaire through being completely thick. Yeah. And if you look at the terms in terms of the sponsorship deals at Arsenal Football Club, all of this uncertainty, yeah, and all of these protests and marches, yeah, if he stays, how many sponsorship deals, big sponsorship deals, are we going to get in the future? Yeah. So by him staying, it's to the detriment of Arsenal Football Club, because he will be holding us back financially. Yeah. By us not being able to compete. Because let's say, for example, Emirates, for example, yeah, let's say that deal comes up for renewal. They ain't going to renew with us if every fan's kicking off every fucking week, because the manager's here. Yeah. So everyone's going to want to distance themselves from us. So at the end of the day, the fans make the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I personally think that he is gone. Yeah. Because I think they won't sack him, because they ain't got the bollocks to sack him. And out of like, I don't know, out of fucking past achievements, yeah, they're not going to sack him, because they're still living in 2004 and they still get sucked in by his words every week. Yeah. But you've only got to look at Ranieri getting potted. That saved their season. Yeah. That saved their season and made them a fuckload of money, which will make them even more money, because they'll get more sponsorship deals in the Premier League than they would in the Championship. And it's the same with Arsenal. If Arsenal keep Arsene Wenger next season, we will be light years behind Chelsea within 2, 3, 4 seasons, and Man City within 2, 3, 4, and United we already are anyway. But by fucking him off and getting rid of him and not giving him a new contract and saying thanks but no thanks, yeah, that will make us bigger in the next 3 or 4 years, because in my opinion we'll get better.
Yeah.
There'll be no uncertainty around the club. Players will be happy here instead of speaking out. Fans will be happier, hopefully, and we'll get bigger sponsorship deals at the club. So for the detriment of the club, yeah, he's got to go, because otherwise it's game over for Arsenal financially. Well, that's how I see it.
That's the only way they're gonna make a decision, is if financially they're affected.
And they'll be looking at that.
When was the last time they ever thought we ever protested against a manager? They would have been shocked by that. And for I said, that board are so arrogant. They are so arrogant. So for them to even address us and say, do you know what? We respect your right to protest. But to me, I read that and I started laughing. I thought, oh, you guys are shook now. We've got you now.
Yeah.
You see your pound signs are flying away right now.
But it was funny, because I put a tweet. I quoted the tweet, I think. But people said the protest wouldn't make a difference that much, that chief, our chairman's coming out making muggy statements. Yeah, because it's true. They're shook. They don't know what to do because they don't want to sack him. Yeah, out of loyalty to the guy. Yeah, and for what he's done. Yeah. But I've said it all along. I don't think there is a deal on the table for him. I really, really don't think there's a deal on the table for him, because every time he speaks, including that Jake Humphrey interview the other day, every time he's quizzed on it, he throws a Champions League record in your face, or he throws, I've managed for 34 years as a manager in your face. Yeah. So in my opinion, that's him trying to put pressure on the board to give him a new contract, because the time's ticking. Yeah, the season's nearly done. Yeah, and you know, for
that statement makes me agree with what you've just said, because I think to myself, but for them to do that, and like you say, to not even mention Arsene Wenger, not to do that doesn't sound like faith to me. That sounds like, all right, you guys just hold on. We're just trying to maneuver this guy out. Just bear with us. Bear with us.
Yeah, they don't want to kick him. They'll just push him slowly.
Yeah, that feels like a plea of patience to me, as opposed to we have unwavering support. But as far as I'm concerned, let's just hope for the best. Let's hope he is getting knocked out the door. But we'll see. We'll see. But
coming back to the Lincoln game, which is why we're here.
What would your 1 to 11 be for this? So usually when I do previews, I don't go with what Arsene Wenger goes with, because who knows what that old man's thinking. I go with a hopeful 1 to 11, what I hope to see on that pitch. So what would your hopeful 1 to 11 be?
Well, I'll be honest. I'd go with a full first 11, proper. Yeah, I'd go with the team that started against Bayern Munich the other night.
Okay.
All 11 of them. Yeah, every single one of them that started against Bayern the other night, I'd go with all of them. Yeah, and I'd say to them, yeah, you go and fucking put a performance in, go and absolutely fucking batter Lincoln. Yeah, and no disrespect to Lincoln. Yeah, because like, you know, end of the day, fair play to them. They have got all the way this far. They have played umpteen games here to get this far, and they've got the plum draw of the round. Yeah, they've got Arsenal at the Emirates. Yeah,
and they play well. They're killing their league. They're running away with their league.
Yeah, fair play to him. Listen, that ain't going to be an easy game. Yeah, so if he starts fucking about with the team and putting like lesser players in, yeah, you're up against big men here. Yeah, you're up against a team that are physical. Yeah, maybe Ozil should start. It might finish him off. Yeah, yeah. But you're going to be up against a team that are going to be physical. They're going to be in your face. They're going to make stupid challenges because they're not up to the speed that we're up to. Yeah, which is probably why he won't play the team that I want him to play, because he's going to think about injuries and shit like that. So, which is fair enough, I suppose. But at the end of the day, we've been mugged off, yeah, against Bayern Munich, against Liverpool, and against Bayern Munich. Yeah, so you get your fucking asses out there. Yeah, and you go and put a shift in for these fans, because all of your careers are on the line at this club right now.
Exactly.
That's how I'd say it. I'd tell them straight, all of them. You can all fuck. But then, if he's told them he's leaving, they'll probably go, well, so's yours. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? So
would you not play Holding? Would you not play Holding in this game?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. At the end of the day, mate, it's a chance to get to a semi-final at Wembley. I do rate that boy, and I'll hold my hands up and I'll say, when that guy signed for Arsenal Football Club, I was like, why the fuck are we signing this kid? Yeah, seriously. But I'm big enough to swallow my pride and say, yeah, do you know what? I'm big enough to say, yeah, do you know what? I've accepted that, you know, I can apologise, and I can say that I've got it wrong. Yeah. And yeah, Rob Holding's been he's in my opinion, yeah, he just looks so calm on the ball. Yeah, and like, to move up a couple of divisions. I know he's obviously, the first game of the season didn't go to plan, and we lost to Liverpool and we conceded 4 goals at the Emirates and all that. Yeah, but and he gave away the free kick for the equaliser, but that wasn't a free kick anyway. That and you don't expect Coutinho to bang it in from 35 yards out, do you? Yeah, but I think every time I've seen him, he's really impressed me, and that shocked me because I didn't think he'd be as good as he is.
He's got time. I agree with you on that. Plenty of time. He's clearly
I wouldn't play him though.
Koscielny's replacement, I think, and I could see him growing into that role. Hopefully, if Mustafi improves as well, that could potentially be a really good partnership, with even potentially Callum Chambers to come back and challenge.
He's not done too bad at Middlesbrough.
He's done all right. Yeah, I've kept an eye on him. He's done okay.
Yeah. I know they're struggling. I know they're struggling down at the bottom, and they're probably going to get relegated. But he has actually been all right for them.
Agreed.
Yeah. Same again with Jack Wilshere, who's out on loan. Yeah, Jack Wilshere. They've managed him so well at Bournemouth. Yeah. And they rested him the other day. Yeah, and he was on the bench, I think, against it was United, was it?
I think it was, because they drew that.
Mate, he's not been injured all season, has he?
He was for about a week, but that was it. He was back literally the game after. I was like,
and that sort of says it all, really, doesn't it? How can a smaller club with less resources, keep a player like Jack Wilshere fit all season or most of the season?
My mate Jay has always said to me, "Trust me, Wenger's just the wrong manager for Jack. All we need to do is just change our manager, change our training methods. You will see that come alive." And we've potentially seen it when he's gone to Eddie Howe, who, let's be honest, a lot of Arsenal fans rate. Not necessarily enough for Eddie Howe to be our next Arsenal manager.
Nah, I rate him. I do rate him. I think he'll be a fantastic England manager in years to come.
I think so too. I like him. I do like him. I'm not enough to be Arsenal manager, because I apart from anything, I don't want somebody who's just going to come in and just be almost like a cuckold for this board. I want someone who's going to basically say to this board, "No, I need this, and this done now. I need this change. I need that." That's what
do you know what? I know right at the very beginning of this, you mentioned about Ivan Gazidis,
Yeah.
And my view on him, because my view is different to your view on him, he says all the right things, and he goes on these shows and says, "Oh, we're going to spend this money and this and that," like he did at the Puma launch a few years ago, where there's another 2 or 3 big uns coming in and nothing happens. Yeah. And if ever the fans turn on the manager, that's when it's time to say goodbye. And he comes out with all this shit, right? But in my opinion, right, we ain't going to see the best of that guy, until Wenger goes, because he's not going to have the bollocks to sit Wenger down and say, "You're leaving, bruv. Yeah, it's game over, ta-ta," because Wenger was on the panel of people that employed him.
He hired him.
But in my opinion, I don't see even Gazidis as a massive issue at Arsenal Football Club. Yes, he is an issue because he's allowing the regime to continue the way it's continuing. But
so you think he's a victim of the situation? Basically.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. The same with Stan Kroenke, right? This is going to sound weird what I'm going to say now, and a lot of people are probably giving me hate for this, right? I put this tweet out yesterday saying, it might have been earlier today, I can't remember, but saying the amount of people that give Stan Kroenke shit, "Oh, he's just bleeding Arsenal dry. He don't give a fuck about Arsenal. He don't put any money into Arsenal." Well, hang on a minute. That's fucking Roman Abramovich, innit? Yeah? And this is the Roman Abramovich that everyone said killed football. Yeah? So what do you want? Do you want someone that's going to come in and bust in £2 billion and kill football? Or do you want an owner that's perfect for Arsenal for why we moved from the hybrid to the Emirates? Yeah? Because we wanted to move to be self-sufficient. Yeah? And to compete. With the best in the world. Well, we are self-sufficient, so why the fuck would Stan throw any money at it? I don't get it.
I agree and disagree with you. I agree as far as there's only so much blame you can give Stan when he backed the manager in the summer.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Backed him.
That's the only.
That was like one of the biggest problems I had with Stan was, what exactly is he owning for? Like, what exactly is he doing for us? But he absolutely backed Wenger, and Wenger spent money, right? I disagree in the fact that he is the owner of something, and regardless of how he came into position, he should be able to say to the manager, "This is not good enough. This is not that. We need this. We need this. We need this result." And making irresponsible comments like, "Oh well, you know, I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. I bought Arsenal to be a long-term business." That kind of thing. As a fan, you read that and you think,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And that's where.
But don't you think he killed himself by being completely honest though, like, and saying that? Because you know he hasn't brought it. He don't give a fuck if we win a trophy. He's just a major shareholder. He don't give a toss. Yeah, he employs people to give a toss.
But that's like, so you want, as a fan, you want someone who's. I mean, it's a romantic idea, and I get what you're saying. You know, maybe it's an unrealistic idea that we have a really rich billionaire owner that loves the club the way we do. Maybe there is no such thing. But then you look across the way and you see Chelsea and you see Roman Abramovich, and regardless of what you want to say about him, the man clearly loves Chelsea to invest the amount of money that he invested.
And not only that, he's there every single home game. Yeah, and he's cheering, he's jumping up and down, he's applauding. Yeah. You can tell when he's angry, you know a manager's getting sacked. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he does whatever it takes for Chelsea to win.
Yeah. Whereas
because he wants to win.
I'm always shocked when I see Stan. I'm like, oh blimey, he's actually here today.
Yeah, what's he here for? What's he here for? But I just laugh at people. Yes, Stan Kroenke is not great for Arsenal, but at the same time, I don't think he's anywhere near as bad as people make him out. Yes, he takes £3 million out of the club every year, and what? Arsene Wenger takes nearly £9 million every year. Yeah, Steve Bold takes £1.5 million every year. Sanogo £1.5 million every year. Yeah, you know, so the major shareholder's not allowed to take £3 million, but Sanogo's allowed £1.5 million. Yeah. And Steve Bold's allowed £1.5 million for sitting there saying yes, Arsene, no Arsene, 3 bags fucking full Arsene. Yeah. You know, like I'd in an ideal scenario, I'd like all of them to fuck off.
Right.
But
it's not going to happen.
But that's not going to happen. And at the end of the day, he offered up £90 million for Wenger in the summer. Wenger spunked it on what have so far proven to be flops. Yeah. Granit Xhaka has proven fuck all to us this season. He scored a couple of screamers, yeah, and a load of rash challenges. Yes, he shouldn't have been sent off a few times. Fair enough. But he hasn't warranted his £35 million price tag.
I completely agree with you. And when you put it into context, that the man spent more on Xhaka than a better player in Kante, and he came out and actually admitted that. I was thinking to myself, you know you're on TV, right?
You know why that happened, don't you? Yeah, right. Because Kante's on more wages than Granit Xhaka, so the overall deal for Kante is more than it is for Xhaka because Xhaka's on lower wages. Yeah, so over the term of the contract, it works out more for Kante. Yeah, but in my opinion, for the style of play that Wenger wants to achieve, Granit Xhaka is the perfect signing in that position. Yeah, Kante isn't. Yeah, so I get why he signed Granit Xhaka, because Granit Xhaka is a deep line midfielder that can spray a 70-yard ball. Yeah, and he can tackle, well, try and tackle. Yeah, and, you know, he's a good footballer, but he hasn't done enough to warrant so far in his first season why he's 35 million. The same with Mustafi. Yeah, Lucas Perez. Yeah, 17 million. From what I see, if he played every week, that's a fucking bargain.
Bargain.
Yeah, that's a bargain. Yeah, but then, you know, when you look across the road at Chelsea and you see like, you know, some of the players they've got like Kante, and you just think, wow, man, like, you're jealous. I am jealous. Most of my mates are Chelsea. Yeah, they're fucking ringing my phone every day, texting me. When we lost, mate, I have had so much shit off of them fuckers. Yeah, right. Yeah. Even one of my managers at work's Chelsea. Luckily, he hasn't spoke to me yet. Yeah, I haven't spoke to him in a few days. Yeah, but yeah, a couple of my Chelsea mates. As soon as that went in, they were texting me. I'd hate to be an Arsenal fan right now. Yeah, and I texted him back saying, "Text me again, you're blocked." Yeah, and they went, because we're in a group. Yeah, they went, "Yeah, we'll text you 10 times, then you can block us twice." Yeah, it's just little shit like that. Yeah, I know it's only banter, but it hurts, man. Like it hurts so much. Like we're a fucking laughing stock, and the thing that hurts the most is if he's still here in the summer, we could all sit here this August coming, and we could all predict our season that's coming up next season. Yeah, we'll start off average. Yeah, by around Christmas time, we'll be on a fantastic run, and we'll be near the top, if not top. Yeah, we'll get through the group stage of the Champions League. We'll end up with Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Yeah, and then it's game over. We'll be out of the fucking Carling Cup or the League Cup or whatever it is, because we don't give a fuck about that, because he's too arrogant to give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jose Mourinho's a better manager than he'll ever be, and he didn't give a fuck. He gave a fuck about it, and he won it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same as he gives a fuck about being in fucking Rostov tonight, and he won that as well, didn't he? Or was winning that when I heard. Yeah. And they'll probably win that competition and get in the Champions League. Yeah. So, it's like, then by February we're out of everything, or March we're out of everything, and then we'll just cling on to the FA Cup because that's all we got left. Yeah. And then we'll lose to fucking Spurs or something shit. Yeah, and get knocked out of that, and then then when the pressure's off, we'll go and get fourth. Fuck off, man. I'm bored of it.
It's funny. It's funny you should say that. So I did a show with a couple of my mates that are actually watching this now. Actually, Stow and Robbie Richmond, and we did like a show. And at the time, this admittedly it was at the time. It was at the start of the year. They were like, "Oh, you know what? I don't really know why Arsenal fans give Wenger so much grief, because they're Man United fans, they're Liverpool fans. I don't really understand." So they were like, "He's such a respected manager." And I said, "Listen, the season hasn't happened, right? And I can tell you exactly what is going to happen. That November we'll have a wobble. Then we might win a couple of games in January, and people start getting hopeful again. And then we get drawn against a big team in the Champions League, get humiliated. We're out of everything by the end of February, because it's fuck up February, and we always do it. We go on a little run towards the end of the season, and people start getting hopeful for the following season, only for the same cycle to happen again. And that is our season. And they were like, "No, that won't happen." I said, "You watch. Trust me, it will happen." And then I spoke to my mate Stel a couple of days ago on his podcast, right? Shoot the Defense. Little shout out for him. And essentially, I said, "Bro, what did I tell you?" And he started laughing. He said,
do you know what always makes me laugh with these fans of other clubs? Yeah, right. It's funny, right? My Chelsea mates, yeah, they all go, "Yeah, but look at what he's done for the club." Yeah, well, what's he fucking done for the club then? Yeah, all he's done, in my opinion, right? And like I said earlier on in this show, I idolised that geezer 7 years ago. Yeah, and I was fully sucked in to the Arsenal fucking spin. Yeah, but when you actually look outside the fucking box, yeah, he didn't move us from Highbury. Yeah, David Dean and Danny Fisman moved us from Highbury. So for anybody watching this that thinks that it's Arsene Wenger that moved us from Highbury, it's bollocks. David Dean and Danny Fisman had that idea long before he fucking rocked up.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he was the manager that see through the move. So fair play. He stayed there. He didn't have to. Yeah, granted. He could have fucked off. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, so fair play and dues for that. Yeah, but he never gave us a back-to-back championship. Yeah, we always won one, then fucking lost, and then won another, and then lost a few, and then won again. Yeah. He didn't give a toss about the FA Cup from 2016 to when we won it again. 2006, after we won it in 2005. He never gave a toss about it from 2006 to 2013, when his job was on the line again. Yeah, because fans were getting fucking ump. Yeah. And that's when he decided, fuck it, I better actually play a proper team in the FA Cup this year. And we actually won it. Yeah. He's never won in Europe and got to one semi-final or one final of the UEFA Champions League. Yeah. And if you actually look at his record, yeah, and analyse his record, George Graham has a better games to trophies ratio than Arsene Wenger, although George Graham won less because he's obviously been here for less time. And just very quickly as well, because I know we've been rambling on for hours, man. Right? Somebody sent me a message, a DM earlier. Yeah, if Man City win in the Champions League, yeah, that puts them ahead of us in the coefficient for the UEFA Champions League. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So if they get through, yeah, I think it's also dependent on what teams qualify, i.e., top 4 this season. Yeah. So let's say the top 4 is Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Man United. Yeah, we could potentially be in pot 3 next season in the Champions League, because Man City, if they win and get through the next week when they play, yeah, they will be ahead of us in the coefficient for the UEFA Champions League, mate. Yeah. So again, it's all great talking about what Wenger's done for this club, yeah, but he's not done it in Europe. And there we go. We could be pot 3 next season if we even fucking qualify. And if we do qualify and we are pot 3, we're talking the likes of Real Madrid and Borussia in the same group, yeah, or Bayern Munich and fucking Barca in the same group. Well, maybe not both of them, but you know where I'm coming from, yeah. We could end up with 2 massive football clubs in the same group as us, yeah, and not even get out the group. So, yeah, while I'm happy with the 6 FA Cups and the 3 league titles, yeah. He didn't build the stadium. The stadium's not even halfway paid off. It's not paid off till 2031. And, you know, it just fucking winds me up because he's had so much opportunity in his early years. The first 10 years, he underachieved, in my opinion, with that squad. Yeah, with that squad of players, never to win a back-to-back title and to never win the Champions League with that squad. Yeah, never win a League Cup. Like, really? And, you know, and people, the only reason people give him a buy is because of the stadium and, oh, we were under financial restraints. Bollocks. The stadium's £20 million a year. Yeah, that's fact. It's £20 million a year. And guess what? The Champions League pays for it by qualifying. Yeah. So where the fuck is the rest of the money?
Exactly.
Yeah, the rest of the money is sat in a bank account. Yeah, it's sat in a bank account. Yeah. And these people need to wake up. Look, at the end of the day, I love my club more than I love that man. End of. Yeah, I love my club more than I love any footballer that's ever played for Arsenal. The club is first.
Agreed.
Yeah, and you know, I could sit here till I'm blue in the face and say it, man. There's probably people watching this that probably say I'm deluded as fuck, and I'm just spreading hate. I get that one all the time. I don't care. I'll say what I see. Yeah, and you know, I just fucking want us to be better. That's what we all want, innit?
All right, so let's wind this thing down. And how do you see the game on Saturday going?
After being so negative for the last hour or so, I'm now going to be positive.
let's end on a positive note. Yeah, so that is.
I'm going to end on a positive. I am going to say that we are going to absolutely smash the fucking granny out of them, mate. We are going to batter them 6-0. They ain't even scoring. They ain't even scoring. Yeah. And the reason I think we'll win 6-0 is because I think especially the English players that play for Arsenal, the likes of Ox and Theo, I think they kind of understand where we come from.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much, and I'm not trying to sound prejudiced here or fucking discriminate, yeah, but I don't think a lot of the foreign players understand or get us. Like, you know, Alexis Sanchez has got a different mentality than any English player. That's a fact. He's South American. They're fucking hot wires, man. They're live, man. Like,
what you're saying is correct, because I think if Alexis understood, there is no way he would have been caught laughing on the bench. And I know people
as well, 2 weeks in a row.
Exactly. And I know people don't see that as an important issue. To me, it is. It's important enough that, yes, there are other issues there, but let's not get it twisted. That is an issue.
Do you know what? I love Alexis Sanchez, right? And I think Alexis Sanchez is the best player at Arsenal. I love the geezer to bits. You'll very rarely hear me slag the geezer off, right? But I slagged him off when he was sat there laughing with Petr Cech the other night. Yeah? Right? And I've been told that because there was a streaker on the pitch, that's why they were laughing. Yeah? Okay, we'll give him a bye on that one, yeah? What about when you were sat there when we were 1-0 down against Liverpool then? And you're laughing and joking with Gabriel because there weren't no streaker on the pitch that day. Yeah, and you know, they are a different mentality and they don't get it, man. They're here for different reasons. Yes, they want to entertain and yes, they want to win football matches, but no footballer, unless they support that club growing up, will ever understand what it's like to be a fan of that club and a supporter of that club. I bleed Arsenal, man. I love Arsenal to bits, yeah? But I'm not arrogant enough or deluded enough to think that we're the best team on the fucking planet and we're going to win every game and this and that and we've got the best players. We ain't. And people don't like my honesty. Yeah, I don't care. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. The end of. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, but at the end of the day, the English players, not so much, even not just at Arsenal, but at every club, I think that the English or the British players tend to get it more because they've grown up here. Yeah, and they understand what it's like to be involved and support that team. Yeah, so although Theo's a Liverpool fan, he'll understand what it means to us and how hurt we are. Yeah, and he'll try if he play, and he'll fucking give a performance at the weekend, hopefully, because he was shit against Sutton.
I was going to say that. Yeah, but it's at the Emirates. So, like you say, I'm a little bit more encouraged, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Wenger starts Ox in his right position.
Yes.
I tend to agree with you more. I'm not as enthusiastic as 6-0, but I think it will be comfortable. I think it'll be 3-0. I think we'll actually play too. So we'll see. What I'm going to ask you now, just very quickly, is would you? I don't normally do it, but I'll do it. I'll do it with you because it seems to be really successful. There's been a lot of live listeners that have stuck with us while we've rambled on. So thank you for guys.
Thank you, and I apologise for my ramblings. Everyone who's listening. Yeah.
what I would say was, are you able to join me for a review? Let's review this shit when the game's done.
I'll be honest with you. As much as I would love to, unless it's on Saturday evening, I can't because I'm going on holiday early on Monday. I'm going to Cape Verde on Monday on holiday. Early morning flight. So I'm going to be at Gatwick tucked up in bed on Sunday, mate.
All right.
Tucked up in a hotel. So
we'll see what we could do. I'm not sure if I can Saturday, but I'll talk to you offline.
Yeah. Tom asked me to go on a show as well, and obviously I couldn't do that either. So it'd be bad of me to say, yeah, I'll come on yours on Sunday and not go on it. You know what I mean? I can't, man. If it's Saturday, then yeah, but...
And you're on holiday. Quite frankly, I need a holiday from all this shit. So I
can't wait. Do you know what? I've never been to Cape Verde before, yeah? And we booked to go... We were going to go to Cancun. I went to spring break a few years ago with a friend of mine, yeah? And we loved it, man. I came back and needed another holiday. It was just fucking epic, yeah? And... like we see 2 Chainz live in a club. He's like 5 foot away from us. Like it's just mad, yeah. And Wiz Khalifa on the beach, like fucking all the cartel turned up and everything. It was fucked, man. Like it's just people walking around with guns and shit. Like what the fuck? Yeah, it was a messy holiday, yeah. But we were going to go there, and I said to my missus because like she didn't come with us. It was just me and my mate that went there, and I said yeah, fuck it, we'll go Cancun. And then she went, no, let's go somewhere else. That's all right. So we booked to go Cape Verde. Yeah. We booked this holiday up, fucking booked it all separate, flights separate, transfer separate, accommodation. It worked out loads cheaper. When I was reading up the other day, I've been tucked up, mate. I've got to pay fucking hotel tax. Yeah. And I've got to pay fucking tourist tax. So before I get in the country, I've got to bang out €100. Yeah. Fucking right off. And then not only that, if you use their cash points over there, they give you escudos. They're Portuguese currency, yeah, but they're Cape Verdean escudos. You're not allowed to take them out the country. Right. You can't get them over here. Yeah, so I'm taking euros, yeah, and then hope for the best. Mate, I'm not even all inclusive either. I only went B&B, yeah, but we got a nice hotel, so. You know,
All right, well, let the people know where they can find you,
man. Lee Gunner 82 on Twitter, and I do have a YouTube channel. But
yeah, I've subscribed to it, but I never see anything.
Do you know what? I only done one video, yeah, and a very good friend of mine helped me out do that video because, firstly, I haven't got iMovie, yeah, because I haven't got a laptop, yeah, and obviously that's why I'm on my iPhone again tonight. But yeah, I have set that channel up, and I am looking to do stuff on that channel. Similar to what you do and other guys do, previews, reviews, stuff like that. Once I get that channel up and running, I was going to do some FIFA 17 content or FIFA 18 because I play a lot of FIFA and I'm half decent at FIFA. Not fantastic, but I'm half decent. But the reason I haven't posted anything other than that welcome or intro video is because me and the missus are in the process of buying a house, and that has taken all of my time, all of our money, and all of our effort, and it's taken so long. And no fucker wants to do anything, but they all want our money. Yeah, and like constant phone and the worrying and the stress, and we got stuff in storage.
Oh,
yeah, because like, yeah, it's like, and I'm paying out for storage every month, and like, then I've got to try and work, and the job I do it's just so stressful, and like, so yeah. That's why I haven't. But the YouTube channel is called Gunner Bang. Gunner Bang, all one word. So if anyone wants to subscribe, feel free.
Go and subscribe. You know when he starts,
I'd appreciate it.
It's going to be explosive. It's very aptly.
Yeah, trust me. Once I get going, don't worry about it. And I've got loads of ideas as well. Yeah, I won't obviously spill them now because someone will nick them.
Fair enough.
I've got loads of ideas, and I think that I'll do all right because I've got the drive to do it. It's just I just need to get in that house and get a laptop sorted. Well, I've got a laptop now. Actually, I've got a MacBook now. So, but just finding the time to do everything, it's, you know, it's just hard work. But in the next, that's why I'm going on holiday. I just need to fucking get away and have a couple of weeks away, man. Like, so yeah, once I'm back off my holiday, hopefully we'll be in our house, and yeah, looking forward to blowing up YouTube. I could end up melting YouTube on a particular weekend. Like,
I've put his Twitter handle in the description, guys, just in case you're like, oh, what was that again? And of course. Follow me
in the description. Sorry, in my Twitter as well. In my bio for my Twitter, you'll find my YouTube channel anyway. So
yeah, there you go. And also follow me too at Colossal Chig, CHIG on Twitter. I usually post the latest episode of whatever I do on there. And if you're listening to me for the first time, welcome, because I know Lee brought a bunch of people. Thank you for. And do hit that subscribe button, and trust me, you'll like what I do. All right, well, I guess we'll close that off, and hopefully we'll chat again soon, Lee. You've got to come back on.
Definitely, mate, definitely. I've enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, no problem. And you guys, no matter what, whether it's myself and Lee, whether it's just me, I will do a review for you guys. Just keep an eye out on it. All right, people, I'm out of here. And Lee's out of here too, and I will take care soon. All right. Peace.